So Leo, I'll start with the numerology. You have a number 8, which talks about financial success, or at least working towards future financial success, putting quite a bit of effort towards something. But it can also be recycling of energy and needing to learn a lesson again in order to get it right. I want to start by saying that, and I want to get it out of the way because everybody worries about this card. You have the Death card as your foundation card. So as a foundation, it feels like it's already happened. So whatever the situation, there's been some sort of change or transformation, something beyond your control, but it was a necessary change in order for you to move forward. And even though it seems like a dark card, you do have light around you, just waiting for the right moment to manifest. So that's the foundation. So something must have changed, or there's been some major transformation or an ending of some description that's now making way for the future. You've had to let go of something, maybe a long-held dream, a relationship, job, moving, anything like that can be depicted by the Death card. When you're coming into March, you have the Temperance card, and I love that you have the Temperance card after the Death card, because it means there's been a release. So whatever has happened, it's gone, and now it's a time of surrender. And it's like after the storm, there's a rainbow and there's calm. So now there's a sense of balance being restored after the death, and you are now rebalancing your energies and surrendering to what is. So that's how I generally see that, and reading those, because that's a 13 and that's a 14, they follow each other, and there's a reason why they follow, and that's it. Like after death, there's the sense of surrender. And I think I've said that previously in readings, where Temperance for me is the surrender after something has occurred, a death or a transformation. You surrender to it now. You've let go of all your attachments to it, and you know that it's over with, and now you can move forward and into something new, and you're open. And that's what the Temperance for me feels like as well. It's like after the darkness, you're now open and you're light, and you're allowing things to happen and flow, and that's what surrender is all about. So the general meaning of Temperance is balance and harmony, and it's leading you to a conscious deliberation. So between your consciousness and your unconscious thoughts, there's going to be a connection. So the groundedness. So you see there's the spirit. She's touching the earth while she's still in the water, and so there's a sense of groundedness, as well as still being in contact with unconsciousness, deeper motivations. And that's a really beautiful state to be in, because your conscious and your unconscious are joined. They're connected, and you're more likely now to move in the right direction. It's also a time of letting go of the ego and being submerged, like she is here, submerged in the unconscious, to gain deeper insight into this situation and reflect on what's going on in your life, or after the fact, after the death energy or the transformation, transition energy. Now you're in a reflective state and in an allowing state, where you need a little bit of time for things to start to flow again. What you're in the dark about, my sense of it is, why is it so hard? That's what I got first when I saw this card. The Ten of Wands is what you're in the dark about. And I think it's like that burden. You feel like you've carried a burden, and you're thinking, why is it so hard? Why can't it just flow? Why isn't it moving? Why do I have to keep, why? That's why I keep getting why? And the reason why why you are feeling burdened. This is the answer to that. The Queen of Pentacles. Lack of groundedness. Probably not really caring for your own needs, your own physical needs. What I feel very strongly here is you are not listening to your own needs. Maybe you were focusing too much on something or someone else and you weren't really listening to your needs, and maybe you were investing too much in someone else or something else, thinking that that would eventually give you what you needed, but it didn't. It's like you have to provide that for yourself first. You have to find what nourishes you and do what nourishes you first, and then draw that to you. With this card also, I feel like the burdens feel overwhelming, but there's also a sense of unfinished business, like things haven't quite finished for you. Or maybe you feel like it's still a burden, even though it's ended, you might feel like it's still a burden. But it's saying you're pretty much there. And with the Temperance card, it's that beautiful energy. This is more so your unconsciousness. And this is how you're coming in, the energy that you're coming in with, it's renewed and it's cleansed. Your advice card is the Six of Pentacles. It's a lovely card to look at. And also, I feel it's very apt because it's a card of abundance to some degree. It's harmony on the physical plane of the give and the take, and that relates beautifully with the Queen of Pentacles, not giving to yourself first. And the Six of Pentacles is there has to be that flow of give and take. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. And it feels like maybe you weren't receiving before, and that's why you've had the Death card and the Ten of Wands feeling. So the advice is, just like the Queen of Pentacles, give to yourself and also receive, give, but also receive in equal measure. To nourish yourself, I feel very strongly on a physical level, nourishing yourself, what your needs are and how you nourish yourself. And when you do that, with the Six of Pentacles, when you bring harmony and into that earth energy, because Pentacles are about material manifestation, there'll be more freedom for you, more flexibility. And stay positive, stay in a positive energy of harmony and receptivity. What's going to become illuminated for you is highlighted with the Five of Cups. Maybe still a sense of disappointment. I mean, the worst has happened, I feel. But maybe the energy is still lingering. Maybe the emotional disappointment is still lingering for you for March. And you can easily change that around, Leo. It doesn't mean just because the cards are indicating this. I mean, you might still have some lingering emotions around it that you might become aware of. That's more so what I'm feeling here. Not that you will dwell on it so much, but you might recognize that you do have some emotional issues that you still need to resolve or that you're dwelling on. And also, traditionally, the Five of Cups is depicted by a cloaked figure looking down at 3 spilled cups, and there are 2 cups behind the person that are still full. And so they're focusing on what they've lost rather than on what they still have, or the fact that there's still something to be salvaged from a situation. Now, I'm not saying that if you have ended a relationship that you need to move back, or that there's something you can salvage. And I'm not saying that you haven't got anything to salvage, but what I'm saying is that with every situation, no matter how difficult it is, there is a gift. And we just have to turn around and look at it from a different perspective, a different emotional perspective. Maybe you just need time to emotionally release those emotions for yourself before you can turn around and see the gift in the situation. But maybe you might feel that there's some regret. Maybe you'll look back and you'll see, you'll feel regret at maybe your part in the situation or the situation in general. But more so, the Five of Cups is saying that, you'll work towards getting yourself back on track. Yes, you might reminisce a little bit and feel disappointment, but eventually you will turn around and you will see that there's a new path for you. Fives are traditionally challengers. They stir things up and they then require you to move on. With the Five of Cups, it might be that you might move on a little bit slower than normal because there's still lingering emotions around the situation. If it was a loss of a job, a loss of a loved one, loss of a relationship, whatever it was, that loss may linger for a little bit longer, but you will move through that because the Page of Wands is your outcome card. It's a nice card to actually have, and after the Foundation card, this to me is a card of, even though it doesn't feel like it doesn't even look like it, to me it's enchantment. That's what I get when I look at the Page of Wands, because it's that childlike sense of energy and verve and motivation. So you might find that you get your sense of energy back and connection to your motivation and your drive. You might feel like you're kind of being reborn again to some degree. Not quite. I don't feel like it's quite a rebirth. But you might find that slowly that you'll start to enjoy things and there will be more joy for you. There's also communication as well. Some happy communication or news and maybe information that you need to take notice of. The Page of Wands is also about creative action. So if there's any communication or any messages sent to you, you might be required to take some creative action, and that's probably where that childlike sense of enchantment and creativity might come in. And this card also is, in this particular death, it talks about the energy between life and death. So even when I was saying about rebirth, it is kind of like that in this deck. I feel like that's what it's kind of saying, light, and it's kind of like a new white bright light, which is that childlike sense and energy, and death is the old. So this is something new. It's like you're looking at the world through new eyes. You're looking at things through new eyes again. What did I say the energy was here? The numerology was, it's an 8, yeah, so the 8. Regeneration, yes. Regeneration, rebirth to some degree. Renewal of yourself. Yeah, I feel like it's a renewal of yourself. Finding yourself again. That's the sense I get here. I hope you do come to the renewal this month, Leos, if this reading pertains to you. I wish you many blessings, and I hope that reading was useful. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon.